might meet the wrong people. You might go to the wrong place. That's fine. You might get on the wrong bus. Go for 3 hours the wrong way before you notice. That's okay. Yeah. So I'm excited, man. I'm just trying not to think about it all that much.
You try not to think about it?
Yeah.
What, you don't want to think about how cool it will be to...
Again, I'm just trying to be present in where I am. You know, I had this discussion with a friend I bumped into at the gym yesterday. Which is, I know I've got traveling coming. You know, it's about 30 days away now, something like that. But right now, I'm in an awesome environment where I get to see my friends regularly. I get to chat with you. We get to film this podcast. I get to go to the gym. This is awesome, you know? So I'm not wishing it away. And I'll be grateful for when I go. And I'll be excited for when I go. But again, I'll be excited for Thailand when I'm in Thailand. I won't be like, oh, I can't wait to get to Laos. It's like, well, I'm in Thailand. Chill out.
Yeah.
You know? I try and be as present as possible. Which is easier said than done, and it's easy when you don't have a lot of external noise. You know, at the moment, obviously, I'm not employed, so I don't have that noise. It's easy to be excited in the future if you don't like your current environment, but I like my current environment.
Mm. What have been some of the most effective methods you've used to help remain present when you do have lots of exciting things coming?
That's a really good question. How do you remain present when you know you've got exciting times on the future? How do you remain present when you know you've got exciting times on the future? I think where I lean to on that is, have you ever heard of this too shall pass?
Yes.
That kind of mindset of like, this moment will pass for better or worse, whether this moment's great or bad or somewhere in between. This moment shall pass. It's like the good times are coming, but they will also pass. So this moment you're in right now, savor it because it will pass. You'll never have this exact moment again. Make the most of it, celebrate it, and move on. And if you can use that mindset when you're in a negative time as well, it's pretty exciting. It's maybe a sobering reality when you're having really great times. You're like, oh, I don't want this moment to end, but it's like, it will.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And again, it's like mastering the artful goodbye as well. You know, understanding the times are going to end, friendships are going to, that you might only have a couple of months with someone. It's not dragging it out, making this big thing. So, you know, I've really celebrated the time that we got to spend together. And it's clear that our time is moving on. And that's okay. So I think it's probably gratitude. I know we always come back to it, but it's gratitude, isn't it? For the moment you're in, for better or worse. You know, if you can be grateful in adversity, if you can be grateful when there's negativity around you, you're probably extremely resilient.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because you talk about being present a lot, and I find it very difficult to be present. So it's interesting to get your opinions on what your mental framing is for being present.
I've got a little trick you can do if you want. They use it for anxiety, but it's exactly the same thing. It's moving you from the future or where your anxieties are into the present moment. So it's find 5 things in this room you can see, but don't do it obvious. Just like look for things. You know, like I can see the blue in that Tesco sign on that bit of paper. What else can you see? Like you find 5 things. And then what 4 things can you hear?
Whoa.
You've got to really like, if you're out for a walk, okay, I can hear that bird, but I can hear the sea as well. I can hear the car all the way off in the distance, but I can hear my feet as well. 4 things. What are 3 things you can feel? Can you feel the wind on your face? Can you feel the clothes up against your skin? You know, like, and then what are 2 things you can smell? 1 thing you can taste. Those are a little bit harder. But it's moving you from outside and putting you inside and getting you in touch with your body. You know, like what is your body actually feeling? What are you actually experiencing in this moment? You know, because if we're in our heads, we're probably in the future or the past. If we're in our body, if you can feel what's going on in your body, you're probably in the future. I've said it to you before, but I was on like beta blockers for breathing for 2-3 years. You know, I was consciously consciously, consistently anxious all the time. And I was breathing awfully. I felt like I starved of oxygen. And just by learning to breathe and put my attention into my body rather than into my head, and actually learn to breathe and learn how to put my awareness into my body, I came off my medication that I was on for 2-3 years in a week.
Crazy.
And it was difficult. It was horrible. But now I know how to calm myself down and bring myself into my present moment. You know, if I feel like, oh shit, like I'm struggling to breathe, I just remember how to bring my awareness into my breathing and actually breathe properly. And it dissipates.
I suppose bringing yourself into the present moment through the 5 senses helps create better recollection of that moment as well. Because you're attaching not just what you see to the memory, but what you felt, what you could smell, what you could hear. There's just extra supporting layers.
For sure. I met someone, excuse me, while I was traveling, that whenever she was in a moment she really wanted to remember, she'd play a song that she liked at that time, or just a song. So then she would attach the memory to that song. So whenever she heard the song, she'd remember it. And we had this awesome apartment. Like, it was in Times Square in New York, like a couple of blocks back. And we had this rooftop area. Or how we got this apartment, I don't know. It was awesome. And she played Missed Calls by Mac Miller. And now, whenever I hear that song, I think of it. Because I'm like, that's such a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
Attaching, like, a memory onto a song. I thought it was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mac Miller, Missed Calls. Reminds me of Times Square in New York.
Dark-skinned DeBarge.
What does that remind you of?
Reminds me of us training in the gym when I was 19.
Yeah, that does remind me of that as well.
You introduced me to that song, and I was like, this isn't a workout song.
No. That's
You
a
were
good
like,
song.
I was like, what do you listen to then when you're in the gym? And you showed me, it was like, Dark-skinned DeBarge. I was like, what?
Yeah, my music has... Well, I love my music taste, but it's very all over the place. When it comes to the gym, it's heavy for, like, big lifts. Probably drum and bass, or pop punk for, like, consistent workouts. Then when it's, like, accessory work, then it's a bit more fluid.
Yeah. Not like me, listens to a podcast on business.
That's wild. Do you feel like you have to perform for us on this podcast?
Not so much. I'm getting better at just relaxing and like, no, this is just a conversation. But for the first 63 episodes...
We're on 64. 65? I don't know.
Yeah, this is 64.
Damn.
64 Zoo Lane. I showed Connor 64 Zoo Lane. If you don't know what it is, you missed out. I feel sorry for your childhood. I only had 4 seasons.
Probably 4 too many.
No, but it was between 1998 and 2000. I think there were loads of episodes per season. 1998 and 2002 was the first.
How old
block.
are you?
I would have been 2 in 2002.
You remember that?
Do you not have memories from...
No.
I remember 9/11.
Yeah, I know you do, and I'm categorically disagree that you remember that, but that's fine. I don't remember anything from my childhood. It's bad.
That is bad. But it was many, many years ago. Mine wasn't so long ago.
You are 25.
Yeah, young.
Okay.
Sprightly.
Okay. You're moving into your second quarter.
I'm in my second quarter, I am.
I'm in my second quarter. That's
true.
assuming I live to 100.
Yeah, I doubt I'll live to 100.
60.
I think I'll maybe live to 71.
It's a very precise number.
I told you before, haven't I?
Yeah, you have, yeah.
My dad's dad died at 71. My dad's dad died at 71. My dad will die at 71. I will die at 71. My kid called John will die at 71.
I think it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy at this
His
point.
son, Johnny John will die at 71.
Johnny John. JJ.
Yeah, JJ.
But yeah, you don't feel the need to perform anymore.
No, but I think it depends on the conversation as well. Some of them I feel like I'm way out of my area of competence and therefore feel like I have to like put on a certain hat. Whereas conversations like this are really easy because we're just catching up. So,
Do you perform when you're outside of this podcast studio? Do you perform to other people? Do you perform to friendships? Do you feel like you perform different people? You've got different archetypes for different people that you need to interact with, and do you aspire to bring them all together to the closest version of Will?